before we step out onto the quiet morning trail, take a moment to find complete, effortless comfort right where you are. Adjust your pillow and feel the gentle, reassuring weight of your body sinking into the mattress. Let go of every task left unfinished today, every thought that kept your mind busy. There's nothing else you need to do tonight, nowhere else you need to be. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose, filling your lungs with quiet, cool air. Hold it gently for a moment and let it all go with a long, soft exhale through your mouth. Feel your body soften, releasing every last trace of tension. Allow your arms to lie heavy beside you. Feel a soothing warmth spreading through your hands, down to the tips of your fingers. Now let your mind step softly out into the cool, misty air of late August, leaving the waking world far behind. It is the very early hour of a late August morning in a secluded mountain village nestled deep within the rolling hills. The world is still wrapped in a profound, peaceful silence. Down in the valley floor, a thick, white sea of morning fog rests motionlessly over the fields, transforming the landscape into a series of soft, floating islands. High above the mist, the first pale golden rays of sunlight begin to touch the very tops of the wild apple trees and the weathered wooden roofs of the old homesteads. You walk slowly down a narrow dirt lane alongside an old man who still remembers the ancient, quiet craft of finding hidden water beneath the earth. He wears a faded linen shirt and sturdy leather boots worn smooth by decades of walking these hills. He does not offer loud explanations, nor does he speak in grand, mysterious terms. He moves with a quiet, deliberate grace, the kind that comes from a lifetime spent observing the slow rhythms of the natural world. You watch his hands as you walk. In his right hand, he carries a freshly cut V-shaped hazel branch. It is green, flexible, and supple, harvested just moments ago at the dense edge of the woods while the dew was still fresh on its leaves. For centuries, across these secluded mountain valleys, men and women have held branches just like this one, forked stems of hazel, willow, or birch, walking slowly over the dry earth in search of the perfect spot to dig a well. To those who do not know the ways of the land, it looks like magic. In reality, it is simply a conversation between human attention and the deep, invisible forces flowing far beneath the soil. Take a slow, quiet breath of this crisp morning air. Feel the cool scent of wet bark, crushed leaves, and mountain mist filling your chest. Hold the breath for a quiet second, and as you exhale, let your neck and shoulders melt even deeper into the softness of your bed. Leaving the sleepy village behind, you step onto the open trail, entering the wide, quiet expanse of the countryside. Your journey takes you through high summer meadows where the wild grass stands tall and dry, bleached to a pale amber by weeks of August sun. You pass through abandoned orchards where gnarled old plum trees bend low under the weight of ripening fruit, their leaves casting cool, dappled shadows across the trail. You cross small, shaded ravines where the dark pine forest meets the open pasture, the air instantly turning cooler and smelling of damp moss and fallen needles. Gradually, as the morning hours unfold into the warm afternoon, you begin to notice that the old man is not merely staring at the wooden branch in his hands. His eyes are constantly moving, scanning the horizon, reading a vast library of subtle signals written upon the face of the earth. He observes the gentle folds and contours of the terrain, the small, subtle depressions where the morning fog lingered just a few minutes longer than anywhere else. He notices the places where the wild grass remains vibrant, deep green and lush, even in the middle of a hot, dry summer, while the surrounding field has turned yellow. He watches for clusters of moisture-loving plants, wild mint, tall rushes, and delicate white yarrow, growing in places where no visible stream exists. He stops to feel the temperature of the air, resting in low hollows, noticing where sudden pockets of cool air settle against the skin. He looks at the soft, dark texture of the soil beneath his boots, noticing where the earth turns slightly darker and heavier. Perhaps the hazel branch itself possesses no magical power, and it holds no secret force within its green wood. It could be the man himself who carries decades of unwritten, instinctual knowledge within his very body. Over a lifetime of walking these hills, his eyes, his skin, and his feet have learned to read 100 tiny, subconscious signals from the landscape. And as his mind recognizes the presence of water, the subtle, involuntary micro-movements of his hands are amplified by the tension of the flexible hazel branch, causing it to bend. As you picture walking beside him through these peaceful, sunlit pastures, feel your own legs grow heavy, relaxed, and warm. Allow a deep sense of stillness to travel up through your knees, your hips, and into your lower back. Every step in the story brings your body into a deeper state of rest, as the afternoon light softens into a rich, golden amber. The long shadows of the hills begin to stretch across the valleys. The search slows down to an even more deliberate pace. In a few places along the trail, the fork of the hazel branch has twitched slightly, dipping just a fraction of an inch before rising again. But the old man simply paused, looked around at the dry soil and the sparse vegetation, shook his head softly, and kept walking. Water is not something to be rushed. Finding a true, lasting spring demands infinite patience, quiet focus, and deep respect for the earth. Then, the landscape begins to change in a way that is almost imperceptible at first. You step down into a small, shallow basin, nestled quietly between two rolling green slopes. The wind drops away completely here, leaving the basin suspended in a warm, motionless silence. The vegetation in this quiet hollow grows noticeably thicker and more lush. Deep green ferns spread their feathery fronds near the base of an ancient, solitary oak tree. The air feels distinctly cooler against your face, carrying a faint, unmistakable freshness, the clean, metallic scent of cool earth that has been shaded from the fierce afternoon heat. The old man slows his pace, taking small, deliberate steps. He grips the two ends of the V-shaped hazel branch firmly, holding it horizontally before him, its green tip pointing straight ahead. Then it happens. Without any visible turn of the man's wrists or hands, The tip of the hazel branch begins to pull downward. It does not tremble or quiver. It moves with a smooth, heavy, irresistible force, bending toward the grass until the green tip points directly down at a small, mossy patch of dark soil between your boots. You stop as the silence of the afternoon feels complete and rich. Feel a gentle wave of calm washing over your entire body. Inhale the cool, deep freshness of the mountain basin. Hold it for a quiet heartbeat, and exhale, letting every remaining thought drift away like morning mist. For the first time all day, a quiet, profound certainty settles over you. Deep beneath this dark patch of earth, far below the grass and the roots, a hidden stream of cold, pure water is waiting. The work of uncovering the spring begins calmly and methodically, without any sense of rush. The old man sets the hazel branch down gently upon the grass beside his coat. He takes a sturdy iron spade from his shoulder and cuts the first square of green turf from the soil. The top layer of earth is warm, dry, and crumbly, filled with the fine, golden roots of summer grass. He digs deeper, throwing the dark soil into a neat pile beside the pit. With every inch the blade descends, the nature of the earth changes. Below the warm topsoil lies a layer of dense, pale clay, cool and compact to the touch. The sound of the iron spade cutting through the earth shifts from a dry, dusty scrape to a soft, heavy, muffled thud. Gradually, the temperature inside the shallow pit drops. The soil turns dark, almost black, and heavy with moisture. It begins to cling to the metal blade of the spade, rich, cool, and smooth. At the bottom of the pit, about 3 feet down, a dark, gleaming sheen appears upon the surface of the exposed soil. It is that unmistakable, beautiful sign that everyone who digs for water knows. That quiet, glistening wetness that reveals itself just moments before the underground stream breaks through the earth. Slowly, gently, the hidden water begins to emerge. It does not burst forth in a dramatic, rushing geyser, nor does it splash cleanly like a mountain fountain. It appears naturally, humbly, and quietly. It seeps out from small fissures in the dark clay, murky and thick with brown soil, pooling very slowly at the bottom of the pit. Drop by quiet drop. It is simple, real, and deeply satisfying. The long search across the sunny meadows has yielded its quiet reward. The old man cleansed the mud from his spade using a clump of fresh grass. Together, you gather large, leafy branches from the nearby hazel bushes and place them carefully over the top of the pit, protecting the new water from dust, falling leaves, and nocturnal animals. You leave the spot undisturbed to rest beneath the stars, knowing that overnight, the dark earth will settle and the hidden spring will clear itself. The second morning arrives with the exact same cool, crisp air, the same heavy blanket of white fog sleeping in the valley, and the same quiet trail winding gracefully through the hills. Only now, your steps are lighter and your mind is at peace, because you know exactly where you are going. You walk through the waking pastures, watching the early sun turn the dewdrops into tiny glowing diamonds upon the spider webs. You reach the shallow basin between the two gentle slopes. The morning shadows are long and blue, resting softly over the lush ferns and the dark oak tree. You approach the pit and carefully lift away the leafy hazel branches you laid down the evening before. Overnight, a quiet miracle has taken place beneath the cover of darkness. The heavy brown soil and mud have settled completely to the bottom. In the hollow of the earth, the water has gathered into a still, deep pool, so clear and dark that it reflects the pale blue of the morning sky and the tiny passing white clouds like a pristine mirror. You do not disturb the water. You do not drink from it yet. In the days to come, the village elders will return here with cartloads of riverstone and oak timber to properly line the walls and build a wooden roof over the spring, creating a well that will nourish generations to come. Instead, you stand together in complete, peaceful silence at the edge of the pit, watching the water. Deep at the bottom of the clear pool, small, delicate plumes of fine sand swirl gently where the tiny thread of the underground stream continues to enter the spring. Steady, quiet, and uninterrupted. Whether the green hazel branch truly felt the hidden pulse of the water, or the man's eyes simply read the subtle language of the grass, trees, and soil, remains an unwritten secret. Generations of living close to the earth become deeply woven into the human spirit, allowing the body to feel where the spring lies long before the mind seeks to explain it. The question floats softly away into the cool morning air, but the water is there. Now let your body sink a fraction deeper into the deep warmth and softness of your bed. Feel the quiet, steady rhythm of your breathing, mirroring the slow, eternal movement of the hidden spring, rising peacefully through the dark earth. Take one last, slow, deep breath of this cool mountain air. Hold the stillness gently in your chest and let it all go with a long, peaceful, releasing exhale. Feel your forehead smooth out. Feel your jaw relax. Feel your arms and legs growing heavy, warm, and completely weightless. The morning trail slowly dissolves into the quiet dark. The soft sound of the spring remains steady and calm, and you drift gently into sleep. Deep, quiet sleep.